Australia for the first time in a senior men's international. Great. Evening, the sun is out. I guess it'll get a bit fresh later on, but for now, England taking to the field in bright sunshine. Phil Salt won the toss about half an hour ago and opted to bowl first. It looks quite a dry pitch. And he's probably hoping that it might spin early, but then the effects of the dew and the lights and the darkness later on will make the ball skip on. I should imagine that's his rationale. Short to take the first ball. Yeah, they're going to have to bowl better at the start of this power play, or at least try and rein Travis Head in, who'll be feeling on a high, captaining Australia for the first time on the back of runs in Southampton. So he'll be full of confidence, full of energy, and up and ready to go. But it'll be Matt Short to take the first ball from Reece Topley. Immediately there's some swing there, and Topley is asking the question. Doesn't get much of a response.
Yeah, it was a good delivery, pitching outside leg stump, probably swinging a bit too much as well. But this is good from Topley. His ability to swing the ball back in and then hold the line, both will trouble Matt Short. He's blinking a little bit, didn't expect that to swing, but that's the key here. Early wickets in the power play, especially these two openers. They're big power hitters. James Fraser-McGurk to come as well. So the more wickets you take, 2 or 3 in that power play, sets you up for a good win.
Wide and a very easy early decision for the umpire, Alex Wharf. This was the question that Reece Topley asked from the very first ball. It was a decent start. Where did it pitch? Just outside the line, so a good decision not to review. But a bit of interest for Topley with this cross breeze and
yeah, that was a little fortunate, but reward for sticking to a line and length. It was there to be head in the wheelhouse off Travis Head, but not getting the greatest of contact with that weight on the back foot, and a welcome wicket for England.
Travis Head, standing captain today, 31 from 14. He's got his team off to a flyer. So Bryden Carse, who was had to sit out for a 3-month ban earlier in the summer, but brought immediately back, part of England's squad, test match touring squad, to go to Pakistan in these white ball games at the end of the summer. So clearly highly regarded by the selectors, who wasted no time in picking him after that enforced break. And he's quickly into the wickets here. So he's got this long bounding run, but he's a decent batter as well. And that wicket brings Jake Fraser-McGurk to the crease, outrageously talented young player. A scamper through. Fairly certain that Matt Short was home in any case.
I like Jake Fraser-McGurk. He stands tall. Ricky Ponting was talking about a baseballer's stance, and that's exactly it. Well in with that underarm throw, even if it had hit. And the beauty about Fraser-McGurk is that he holds his position, those cocked wrists, and even if there's a change of pace, his hands don't come down. They stay cocked and ready to go through the ball. Change of pace, he reacts the same. Highly talented and a job to do.
been a good start, this, from Bryden Carse, who's given England that lift of the wicket of Travis Head, but also brought a bit of control here.
Yeah, England will consider this power play a win, actually, in their column. They've got some good spin to come. Rashid, Livingston was effective the first time around, although I haven't really seen Tim David sweep much. Although he did to Livingston.
Just the over that England needed, this. Archer not playing today. Joss Butler, of course, not fit because of that calf strain, but has been with the team. And that's right, because it's the start of a regeneration, really. A lot of young players coming in, like Jacob Bethel and Jordan Cox. So Butler wants to get a sense of them, how they are. Excellent from Bryden Carse. 53 for 1, Australia.
One over then of the power play remains. 86 for 1 they managed in Southampton. They were galloping away and looked like they might be somewhere near that. But Bryden Carse is over. It's just put a stop to that for now. Jake Fraser-McGurk, if you haven't seen too much of him, you might have seen him in the IPL. Ricky Ponting's alongside me, coach of Jake Fraser-McGurk. He's a real talent, but he missed out against Scotland. They played 3 games, a couple of ducks there, and it's cost him his place in the side. He's got a chance because Mitch Marsh isn't playing. Up against Sam Curran.
Yeah, and a slow ball straight away from Curran. Looked like it might have just gripped in the surface as well. Bowls an off cutter. Leaves the right-hander off the wicket. Yeah, there it is, cutter. Just grips a little bit. McGurk plays down the lines, beaten. Very much a stand and deliver player. Lots of changes of pace will work for Fraser McGurk, particularly early in his innings. So no surprise, spin straight into the attack outside the power play. Outstanding in game 1, Adil Rashid. As was Liam Livingston with his right arm leg spin. So it's really where the brakes went on for England against Australia game 1.
Yeah, might have to be into the pitch a bit more. Dimensions a little quicker than he bowled. Very slowly, or mixed his pace up, but quite a few slower deliveries in Southampton. Very different dimensions here in Cardiff. You can see it's very, very short, straight down the ground, so he won't want to be caught up with and just hit through the line. He'll have to just vary his pace again.
The one thing you'll notice that he does do when he changes his pace and bowls slower is he actually gets it really wide as well. Tries to challenge the right-handers to hit him over extra cover.
Might not bowl too many of those.
Talk about dropping the pace. That was thrown right up. First one was 55 miles an hour. That's 48 miles an hour. And luckily for him, got the length right in the block hole.
Oh, yeah,
that will be it. A little bit more of that than we saw in Southampton with the pace variation, but he'll have to not be so full as the previous delivery, not that one. He is the little master. He's so clever now. Control of line, control of length, but this will be a good challenge for him against a prodigious talent.
Oh, he's down, Sammy.
Lovely length.
Yeah, quality bowling. And that's all you need. That's what you go looking for in a T20 game. Just get a couple of dots against the batsman. 3 dots in a row, the pressure goes back on the batter. He looks up at the scoreboard, he realises his strike rate's dropped down. Straight away you go looking for a boundary. The big shot, is it going to come?
Oh my God.
Can't get away. This is brilliant from Rashid, as it so often is. So pressure on now a little bit. Just one from the over so far.
There's a googly that. Oh my God.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just mixing up his pace consistently and his length. Very good from Adil Rashid. We're through 7. They're going at 10, 70 for 1.
Yeah, have a look at that. Look at the change in lengths there. Anything on what you'd call a good length, that 6 to 8 metre length. Look at the batsman's strike rate. He's there, just 56. Get full of that 280, and then anything shorter, as we know, on these slower pitches is going to go the journey. We were critical in game 1 about England's length, about being a little bit short. If anything today, they've erred on a little bit on the full side, which you understand bowling to Travis Head. But they've also paid the price there. So important to find the length. Hit that 6 to 8 metre length and you're in the game.
Very impressive, Bryden Cass. England selectors think a whole lot of him. Test match squad, white ball squads. Started well, up above 90 miles an hour in his first. How are your memories of this ground, Ricky?
Not too many good ones, thanks, Nick. 2009 Test match didn't quite go to plan. I'm surprised I haven't seen the footage of that. I normally get reminded of it most times I come down here, but no, not a lot of great. Although I managed to make a few runs in that game, but that seems to be forgotten about. We're just focused on the fact that the 12th man and the physiotherapist decided to set up camp for about 10 minutes right towards the end of the game.
Let it go, Rick, let it go.
Yep.
It still sits with you.
At least I can have a laugh about it now. It's taken me a long time to be able to crack a joke about it. I think this ground, though, I think creates a great atmosphere for the 50 over in the T20 game. Crowds in, it's nice and full. You had Australia, England. Lights are on. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Pitch is quite often on the slow side. Surprised we haven't seen a few more cutters for the surface, but you're right, it's a good atmosphere when it's a full crowd. England are just going through a good phase here. They were punished initially with the new ball. Bryden Cass has started that process off along with Adil Rashid.
Well, it's good running that, actually. There was an early call of 2, but Cox got the ball really quickly. He's a bit slow releasing. He wasn't quite sure which end to go to. There was a little bit of hesitation between the two batsmen. You see Shaw gets his head down and goes quickly. Fraser McGurk wanted it. Good throw, might have had him in trouble.
Slow ball. Again, that is, I think, an excellent delivery for this surface.
Fighting.
Quite sure what happened there from Phil Salt.
Straight banana peel on the edge of the wicket block, maybe. And he's just lost his footing. Set up the throw, and that back foot slipped in behind him.
One, 1-2-1. So Bryden Cass doing a terrific job here, searching for a boundary. Pressure is just beginning to build. 16 from 11. Fraser McGurk.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent again.
He's been good. Just look at this over in particular. His first over, he actually hit nearly 92 miles an hour. His pace variation this over has been outstanding. 82 up to 89, 77, 76, and then back up to nearly 90 miles an hour in that last delivery. So important that you have that sort of variation when you're bowling to one pace hitters that you'd say Short and Fraser McGurk are. You have to have these slow ball variations in your armour, or armoury even.
Can't get him away at the moment. Pace and pace variations working well for Bryden Cass and England. They're just clawing things back after another expensive early start in the power play. 77 for 1. if you're with us for our build-up. We went right the way back to 2005. Reason being because Australia are playing their 200th T20 Internationals, where it all started, T20 Internationals. Ricky got some runs, but very different feel to T20 cricket right now.
There's a big challenge here for Fraser McGurk against the wily leg spin of Rashid. He'll give him the opportunity. He does. Slows it up. He gives the batsman the opportunity to try and launch him back down the ground or over extra cover.
Way 96 for 2.
Hiya, I'm Jamie, and I'm going to pay you to put these abos in your trolley.
The hustle.
Or his bookkeeping.
There are a couple of options for Livingston. A short and wide, getting the batter to cut short, tuck him up to the leg side as well, but anything too full.
Catch! Oh.
That's a really nice shot. Flick of the wrist. It shouldn't go for 4. Sam Curran does well.
Now that's all good. That's good bowling. Hasn't really erred on the fuller side. He's held his length well. And the modern day batters now, so a lot of them try and step hit. They don't use their feet anymore, which is probably important when you have a short, straight boundary. Use your feet so they can get to the ball.
100 up for Australia.
Oh, wow.
And they all have fast hands. My first watch of Fraser McGurk live, and with most modern white ball players, you see the speed of the hands. He's another one.
There's speed and high hands, and they never come down. Even if the fast bowlers bowl a change of pace, a slower ball, his hands stay high, which is incredibly good.
Oh, wow.
There's sometimes an art to batting through after the power play, and sometimes the power play brings so many runs you feel that you can just do the same and muscle the bowling through the middle as well. You've got to be a bit smart and know where your boundaries are, how you're going to score them. But every other ball that you can't hit for a boundary, you've got to be working for 1s and 2s.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes lose the tempo and rhythm of running hard, making sure the scoreboard's ticking over and the boundary is always looking for 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's how you want to look in terms of batting and run scoring.
You get it?
Good start from Livingston. 2 2s and 3 1s from the over. 103 for 2. Yeah, similar looking scorecard really. 67 for 1 in the power play, and then as spin and Cast has bowled nicely in these middle overs. It's always a harder time to bat, but if you get off to a flyer, then you're always ahead of the curve. Looks like it's going to be Reece Topley bowling from the River Taff end. 2 overs for 26.
That's an incredible shot, actually. The field set on the leg side, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, deep fine leg, just the lone field on the offside. Hit it straight over his head, using his feet to give himself some room, and just slapping it over cover for 6. Incredible power and timing.
That'll be a wide. It was an incredible shot because Topley in England expected him to hit leg side to the longer boundary. Still a pretty big hit offside.
Just look at his hands. His hands stay high. Short, slow ball, full. They don't really come down and lose acceleration or momentum. Comes from high, cocked wrists, acceleration through. You always know that if your first ball goes for boundary, the rest of your over can be very expensive. Very good from Topley. The field is set for short bowling, mid-on and mid-off in the circle. And as a batter, you're expecting it to be slightly short. And the bluff, a well-executed Yorker, works. So two different plans for English. And then, of course, Fraser McGurk. So they've done their homework, England.
Pulled, and it's gone wide. A fine leg. It's another boundary.
It's a tough one for the bowler. He's executed a ball that's according to his plan. Fortunately, into the gap.
Topley expensive. 38 in just 2 overs and 4 balls.
In the moment you have the first ball of your over goes for a boundary, a 6 or a 4, usually the trend is that over more often than not goes for over 12. And 12 already from the 5. Exactly the over Australia needed to try and keep the momentum going. The spin pulled them back a little bit, but this over has brought them back in.
Follows him with the Yorker. Fraser McGurk takes the single. He moves to 48. It's 117 for 2. Cool evening in Cardiff. Australia going well again. Remember, they are 1-0 up in this 3-match series. Last game Sunday afternoon in Manchester. And if they go at 10s from here, 197.
Down, yes, pie man. Very good, Jacko.
Hanging back. And Livingston bowling really well. The length and the pace both are ideal for this pitch. Fraser McGurk still not using his feet, looking for a slog sweep perhaps now or over extra. It's just nature of the pitch as well, and the length at which Livingston bowls. And he does bowl, it's a little bit quicker, shorter than Rashid. And if you stay in your crease or a top spinner, you probably read it, but unfortunately not enough contact. And that's a very, very important wicket. I was wondering why Topley bowled the early over when they had Rashid. But Livingston bringing England back. Jake Fraser McGurk gone for 50, a well-made 50. Australia 119 for 3.
Yeah, it's those 2 spinners again. Rashid 1 for 13 from 2. Livingston 1 for 9 off 10 deliveries. And here is that one. Tempted wrong and maybe picked by McGurk, but not timed. Got the height into the hands of Overton.
Yeah, batters these days don't really worry about which boundary is shorter. They believe they have the power to clear any size boundary. Brings Marcus Stoinis to the crease. It's quite...
And I think this is why they may have held back Adil Rashid. I think they fancy Rashid against Stoinis. They could have gone Rashid another over, but I reckon he'll be on pretty quick now Stoinis is in.
And Australia probably would like Stoinis to play to his strengths and hit down the ground rather than try and reverse sweep and be cute. We saw both him and Tim David, a reverse sweep and a sweep. I can't remember when I last saw Tim David play a sweep.
Oi! Oh, is that?
Now, did he get a finger on that? I'm not sure he did. I reckon Inglis was hovering back as well. Full toss. Ooh, I think he just kept his bat in, Inglis.
Oh, cheeky.
Maybe anticipating a reverse sweep.
Or a paddle. I don't think there is anyone on a paddle. Sweep. Oh, spin. Good turn as well. Good over from Livingston. Another one. 119 for 3.
Stoinis, a little smile. A lot of gamesmanship out there. They know each other quite well, playing in a lot of leagues with and against each other. That's exactly what a new batter doesn't want to see, a ripping leg spinner. But Livingston has been very, very good. He's been disciplined, he's been accurate, he's got good variation, good control, and a knack for picking up wickets.
Well, I felt they were holding Rashid back his 2. But when Stoinis comes in, that's exactly what they've done.
It's been an interesting progression with Stoinis over the last few years. His spin hitting has actually improved and his pace hitting has kind of dipped a bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think what he struggles with is Rashid and not picking Adil Rashid. And that's why he's been going to the sweeps and reverse sweeps. He's been working on his reverse sweep. Ricky Ponting tells us that.
He plays the reverse sweep, but he plays it well when he just dabs it. He's not a real natural hard reverse sweeper. He's one who just dabs at it and gets it past short third. In Southampton, he was trying to just muscle it and missed it. Interesting tactic too. Josh English, who's good with the sweep and the reverse sweep. They're bowling at his legs. And English trying to hit a little bit too straight.
Oh my God.
Lost his shape there. Trying to belt that into the river Taff.
But much better from the batter. That's exactly what I would have liked Fraser McGurk to do as well, especially Livingston. Use your feet. Do something different. So the bowler has to think a little bit more. The reverse sweep and the sweep, the paddles are all very important shots in T20 cricket now.
Picked the wrong one there.
No. Sammy!
Both batters a little bit watchful. This is the 3rd over of Adil Rashid, just the 1 to go. They're probably trying to attack him in his 4th over. With wickets in hand, they can actually do that quite easily.
Catch!
Paul, there is a gap out there. Oh, good work. Excellent work. Saved 2 runs. Jordan Cox, excellent.
Athleticism and presence of mind. Sliding stop, and then a handoff.
I know.
Another over of spin without a boundary. 126 for 3.
Yeah, this was almost like a slide out of the front of the hand, and this has happened a few times now, and you can see that the nature of the pitch is going to take some turn and hold even for the fast bowlers. This is like a top spinner slider, and with the seam hitting it, grabs and turns a little bit. Usually that should go on straight with the arm. So the bowlers having a look at it will understand a lot of cutters, change of pace, seam into the wicket is much suited than just floating it up. The English has gone a little bit slow, just a 12 from 11 balls. He'll want to up that run rate. They have 7 wickets in hand, about 4 more batters to come. Cameron Green, Hardy, Tim David, all power hitters. So they can afford to burn a wicket and over almost from here.
Reverse paddle. Livingston's appealing. Umpire will just wait because Livingston thinks there was some pad involved. I think there was some bat or glove. Umpire gives it as runs, so the umpire feels there was bat or glove involved.
Very good from English, not going too hard. Just placing the ball fine. Probably didn't mean it to hit it that fine, but still a boundary nonetheless.
Oh, wow. Jam at my end, my end! Yeah, so good.
Very unusual for an Australian, Josh Inglis. Seems to have really good presence of mind again. Spin, very quick to read length, good on the back foot, good in terms of touch, as power as well.
Yeah.
The new generation of spin players from Australia. He's almost looked surprised after he hit it. A really good bowling again. The change of line early on, the first over to Stoinis, he was more around that off stump line, turning the ball, sliding it on, changing it with it and not really committing to it again. The step hit with that length not working. Livingston. Happy. He was goading Stoinis. Come, take me on. For 2. 131 for Australia.
Well, a very, very similar pattern to the game. Pace on. Australia have thrived off the moment leg spin and pace off. There's been a relative struggle. They say hit straight at Cardiff. It's not the longest of boundaries. But they're big enough at the moment for these two spinners, just in the fingertips.
It brings in Tim David. Unending power in terms of Australia's lineup. Aaron Hardy still to come. Cameron Green being held back as well. Aaron Hardy very good at the top of the order as well. Well, let's see if Tim David tries to go for a sweep first up, Nasser.
Well, England attacking. There's a slip in.
Oi!
Who would have thought Liam Livingston almost 3 overs in, 2 for 15. Incredible figures from where Australia were, following on from that first game. Well, at least against Australia, it seems that Livingston is the #1 spinner, the premier spinner for England.
Oh my God.
You may have seen him coming there, just dragged it down a little bit. Very, very good from Liam Livingston. 15 overs gone, 133.
For the pitch and spin going well. Here's Adil Rashid.
Yeah, Russia.
More evidence that if you put a bit of action on the ball, you'll get some purchase from this dry surface. Twice he's been punished down the ground.
Yeah, it's a quality shot that from Inglis. Yes, it's full and it's slow. He dropped the speed right down again to 47 miles an hour, but it's one of those step hits. Good player of spin is Inglis. Plays well off the front foot, uses his feet well, plays well off the back foot as well. It's a really good quality strike, straight through the line to the short boundary down the ground.
Extra cover this time and should get back. As Bethel sweeps up in the deep. And the way that he slid there might just be a little bit of dew falling, which I'm assuming, Ricky, is why England wanted to bowl first this evening, and the hope that the dew falls and that the ball just skips on a bit better under lights.
It's heaved out to deep mid-wicket, should just be 2. Will be good work in the deep. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's the modern way. Most captains now in the T20 game, unless it looks like there's really something on offer with the brand new ball, rather than bat first, they'll often look to chase. Smaller straight boundaries here as well as something they always talk about.
Lovely shot. A reverse hit comes sweep and powerfully hit by Inglis.
Yeah, quality shot. Likes the lap. We saw the lap sweep a couple of overs ago. That's a proper hard reverse sweep. So hard to bowl to. The guys that can play both the conventional sweep and the reverse sweep make it very, very difficult. It's right out of the middle of the bat. Beautifully placed.
Hey.
16 gone, 148 for 4.
Adil Rashid, 4 overs, 6 dots, 1 wicket for 35 runs.
So Rashid is done, 1 for 35 from his 4. Livingston has gone well again tonight, bowled 3, but looks like he'll be replaced now by Bryden Cast, but he's 2 for 16. Jake Fraser-McGurk tonight, you like what you saw? I mean, I know you know him well and you picked him up in the IPL, but first time he's really shown something on the international stage.
Yeah, I mean, when you see him bat like that, you've got to like what you see. It's a very exciting young package, there's no doubt about that. Good to see him bring up his first T20 international half century tonight. Probably be a little bit disappointed with his dismissal. We probably could have looked at that a little bit straighter rather than trying to drag across the line. The cast back into the attack's been outstanding. Oh, good pace up to 92 miles an hour. 1 for 17 off his 3 overs.
Gets this fine for 4 as well. Young Jake Fraser-McGurk has just walked in front of the pod and just gave you a little wink, didn't he, as he went past then?
He's lucky he wasn't there about 10 seconds earlier when I was pumping him up. Otherwise, he would have stayed there a little bit longer and listened to every word that I said. He's a good young character. I really enjoyed working with him. He works hard on his game. The scary thing is that I still think there's a whole lot of improvement yet to come.
Carrying number 23 on his back as well. There's a few done that to good effect for Australia. Oh, lovely. Not a particularly bad ball. In fact, Bryden Cast has been impressive this evening. He's hit a good length, buried his place quite nicely, but Inglis is flying here.
Yeah, we've just seen the strengths of Joss Inglis. Got across his stumps and played that little lap sweep early in the over. Bowler pitches up and hits him straight back down the ground. He's turning into a very, very good international cricketer.
Something on that? Maybe a little bit of glove?
Yeah, it must have been nothing from the umpire, so it looked like it clipped something and just slowed down enough not to carry through to the keeper. Slow ball again from Cast, that hard off-cutter into the wicket. Yeah, there's something on it. Just knocked it down enough to not carry through to Salt. So Australia 156 for 4. 10 runs and over from here will get them to 191. They bat deep. Sean Abbott all the way down at number 10. Yes, mate.
I think that throw did any favours for Phil Salt. It came straight out of the floodlights, I think. He barely saw it. Bit of an apology from Liam Livingston. Got a lot to think about. As Phil Salt, he's inexperienced at captaining at international level, although in his second game more experienced than Australia's captain tonight, Travis Head, but keeping as well, not easy.
Just bringing third man up inside the circle, everyone deep on the leg side.
Good pace. He's really bounded in tonight, Bryden Carson. It was him that put the brakes on in the opening power play, and just occasionally he's got the ball through at a decent lick. That one 88.9 on the speed gun.
Yeah, bounded in his right. He's got some energy, hasn't he, through the crease. Got some extra bounce out of this wicket, and that skids through again. Back to your earlier point about maybe just a little bit of dew on this ground. I think you're spot on.
Has his wicket.
Yeah, you say a gentle ball on the hip. If you have a look at this will be an off cutter. And quite often if you get the line of those right with no speed on them and going away from the outside edge, it becomes a very difficult shot for a right-hander to hit to the leg side. There it is, it's a cutter, it's around the wicket, angling in. No pace on it whatsoever. Just chipped up. Pretty simple catch. Coming forward for Carse. He's been in the game all night. For the dangerous Inglis goes as well. This is a good comeback again from England. Australia 157 for 6.
Well, he just needed that lift, no doubt. Sam Curran, who got a bit of punishment in Southampton. And this is a good wicket to get at this stage. Inglis was going really well, 42 from 26, motoring along, looking dangerous. Just can't get the power on that slower ball. Bryden Carse doing the rest, who's having a good evening on his return to the team. So 2 new batters in. Good time to have 2 new batters in who haven't yet faced. Cameron Green and Aaron Hardy. Another slower ball, cutter from Sam Curran.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of that from the Australians when they get their chance to bowl tonight. Obviously Hazelwood not being in the squad, in the side. Sean Abbott, Aaron Hardy, Cameron Green, Marcus Stoinis. See a lot of slow ball variations from them. Cooper Connolly gets a chance tonight. You see that just doing enough off the surface. I like that angle as well. I like the angle coming in and then going away off the wicket.
I thought England were a bit slow actually right at the outset to try a slower ball. I reckon it took them until midway through the 4th over to bowl their first slower ball this evening.
Yeah, I think on these type of wickets, the thing with the slow balls, I think you actually have to bowl them into the wickets. No good just trying to roll it out and hope it does something. Bowl it hard into the wicket, try and change up the seam angle a little bit as well, trying to get one to grab the seam and one to skid off the shiny side. It's got to use whatever little advantage you might have and you can find in a surface.
Even that one there just held up a fraction off the surface.
And the other obvious thing they could think about here, Curran, if he's going to bowl majority of these slow balls, have the keeper come up. Just keep the batsman in his crease as well. Try and take that straight boundary out of play.
Terrific over this from Sam Curran.
Average winning score this venue is 190, so Australia on track to get somewhere around that. Doesn't look like the easiest wicket to bat on outside of the new ball. The new ball came on to the bat nicely. Australia with the 2 spinning options in Cooper Connolly and Adam Zampa.
Well, they got it down to long off somehow. That completes an excellent over from Curran, 161.
So well, they've still got Topley that could have bowled an over of similar sort of stuff. With the 2 right-handers, the left armour taking the off-cutters away from the right-hander.
He went the Australian way, didn't he, for the first catch, palms up. Occasionally, you just get your hands in front of your eye line, which he did there. And you just lose sight of the ball for a moment or two.
You for LBW given not out on field. Check the bowler's feet.
Call for a review delivery. For the LBW.
Front on first, please. It's front on. Okay, can we check ultra edge, see if there's any batting ball, please? Okay, freeze it there. We have a clear spike with ball on bats. Go back on field to Alex. Alex, you can stay with your not out decision. You're on screen now.
Inside edge, and ball was tailing in, and had there not been an inside edge, would have likely missed leg stump as well. But there was a little bit of movement in the air for Saqib, who with this low arm can get it in there, reverse swinging Yorkers at the death.
Well, he's missed out there, Cameron Green. He disappointed with that, was right in the slot, looking to launch that over extra cover. Yeah, there's just a hint again. Hint to swing back in there, which is actually what's brought Green undone. It tailed in and went under the swing plane of his bat.
Low full toss that Cameron Green rather missed times through the leg side for a couple. And Saqib Mahmood is finished 3 overs for 37, 2 at the start, and the 19th, not an easy gig.
I was just watching him then, he was walking towards Sam Curran and gestured to Curran that it was swinging a little bit. I don't think we'll see too many seam ups though from Curran this over. I think we'll see a lot of those off cutters that work so effectively for him in his last over.
Well, Curran took some tap in his first, as he did down on the south coast a couple of nights ago. Came back rather better on his second over, and now will look to finish things off.
There's just that little conversation between Mahmood and Curran. The two right-handers, they'll be very surprised if he changes anything up. Just got to make sure he gets the length right. Make sure it's not too full. Make the batsman hit that to the leg side.
That's well played. He's got it between those two fielders in the deep, long on and deep mid-wicket. Starts with a boundary.
And this is interesting, actually, because that's 81.3 miles an hour, so that might have been a pace on delivery. Maybe Mahmood has got inside his head.
As you say, though, they're so different bowlers with different strengths at this stage of the innings. Curran surely has got to go to his cutters. Full and wide and sliced away behind square. Terrific start to the final over for Australia.
Now, we always say this, why do you change up something that's worked so well for you? Why does he go away and change it up from what he did in that last over? His line and length in that last over, starting the ball down the line of the stumps, then just trying to take it away. First two balls of this over, pace on in the slot for this occasion, wide. Lets the batsman hit with the spin rather than across it.
Gets a little bit of advice from Liam Livingston, who ran in from long off. In power play in the last 5, Australia were dominant. So 193 for 6 off their 20. and a first half century in internationals for Jake Fraser-McGurk.